Daily disciplines. This is one of my favorite things to do. I know it's crazy, but I love getting up early and I love doing these things because I know they help me grow. I know they help me get closer to Christ. And it's just something I really enjoy. So I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this. Now, what I do in my morning routine and what I do every day might seem like overkill to a lot of you. So don't feel like you have to do the whole thing. Take bits and pieces from it and apply it into your planners that you can make through the digital copy and change your own. Apply it to your own personal morning routine, but this is what I do, and I hope it can bless and help your lives because it bless me and help me to come closer to Christ. So for me, it's all about searching the kingdom of God first thing when I wake up. And I've read a lot of books and I've studied a lot of people's routines and self help books to learn what people do to come closer to Christ and like what they do to improve. So I'm going to show you this is the like a filled out version of my day, and it might just seem like scribble, but as you just can see, this I filled this out. So I'm going to go with you step by step doing this so you can see what it looks like, so you can apply in your lives and see how it all flows with the painless planner process. All right, so let's go right into. I'm stoked. I just love talking about this. It's like my favorite thing to talk about because I just love taking action. It's so fun for me. Okay, so let's fill this out together, guys. This is going to be an example of I if I wake up this morning, what does my day look like? How do I go through it? And I'm not going to go like plan the whole day out. Just going to show you the flow. So I wake up in the morning, and first thing I do is I spend 1 minute asking myself, why am I alive today? And I sit on the edge of my bed, or as I'm brushing my teeth, I think about, why am I alive today? Why has my life been preserved? What's my purpose? And my purpose usually always comes down to love others, love and serve others. Okay. That's usually why I feel like I'm alive and my purpose for the day. All right. So then I put the date here, and I put the time I wake up. I usually wake up at 5 a.m. I know that sounds crazy. Never would have thought I would wake up at that time, but I've been able to do it consistently, and I really enjoy waking up early because it's quiet in the morning. I track how many hours I slept, so it's usually around 6 or 7. I go to bed around 10 or 11. And I just check if I drink water, take my creatine, take some stuff in the morning, and did I pray? I usually just say a kneeling prayer right as I get after, as I sit on the edge of my bed, or I kneel down after this question. I say a quick prayer. My prayers in the morning are usually not that good, so it's kind of quick. That's why I just do a quick like, did I pray? Check mark. But then after I'm done brushing my teeth, this is what I call the 10-10-10. This is what I recommend everybody should do. And I got this from one of my mentors, Warren Rustin. And what he recommends is spending 10 minutes to go pray, 10 minutes to read in your scriptures, and 10 minutes to journal. Okay. So that's all I do, guys, is right after I do these things, right? It's 1 minute, then you brush your teeth, you write down these things, write the date. I go and pray. And I live on a farm, so that I only have one neighbor on this side, and then I got like tons of corn, tons of acreage over here. No one bothers me. So I go pray outside, and I enjoy it because I feel like I'm closer to God in nature, right? So after I go pray outside, I do a little check mark. Okay. Now, if you want to get really granular with it, you can say, okay, it took me actually, you can keep track and say, this actually took me 15 minutes. You can track like when you started and when you finished. Now, when it comes to exercising, I'm not going to get too much into my exercise plan, but what I do is I actually do some heavy lifts between each activity, between each one of these. Like I have a weight set right there. So I'll just go pray. When I'm done, I'll do 5 sets of 5 on bench, squat, deadlift, whatever. Because if you do it with longer rests, it helps you. They say there's a lot of benefits to it. But anyway, I lift in between these as well in my morning routine. The next one is reading my scriptures. So 10 minutes of that. I'll sit down. I'll either do like a stretch or a yoga pose as I read. Okay. And then I'll lift again. And I track the time if I want, or I'll just track the amount of lifts I did. Next thing is the gratitude journal. Okay. You're going to see in the books of life later in the painless planner, like what that is and how to do it, and what I recommend how to journal and what the small plates are. We'll get into that later, but I'm just showing you that I do it right here. Right after I'm done praying and reading, I journal, and I have journals. I have a gratitude journal, and I have small plates in the back, and then I have an idea book and a book of memorization, which is I mainly at this point just do the gratitude part. But anyway, So the next thing right here, I'm gonna have to do some erasing because it's probably kind of hard to see at this point. So if that's all the time you have, you just have about 40 minutes before you go to work. Those are the things I'd recommend doing. I'm able, because I wake up earlier and I work for myself, I have more time in the mornings. So I like to do these additional things. It's up to you when you want to do them. I'd recommend doing them around this time. Okay. So I go here and I say, all right, review the previous day and track your numbers. Okay. So you're probably like, okay, Nate, now you've showed us the weekly planning, you've showed us all these things. How are you, when are you tracking this stuff? This is when I track it in the morning. Right after I read, pray, and do my journaling, I'll go back and I'll reflect on the previous day. Okay, I do it in the morning. I reflect on the previous day. So if you guys can see this part right here, this, or it's at the bottom of every planner, right? It's just the next day. I write down, I answer the questions. That's it. I just reflect on how was the previous day. Simple as that. I take that reflection and then I go track my numbers. And that's, as you can see, these are where the errors are leading us, right? This goes back to the weekly planning. The weekly planning are right here are the numbers and how you did. Did you spend time with your wife? Did you lift? Did you eat healthy? Okay. And I track every day. So tracking is not that difficult if every day you set aside 10 or 15 minutes. And this doesn't take that much time, right? To do this, you just set aside some time to put your numbers in there. Okay. Now, I didn't explain to you guys too much on the last slide, I guess the last lesson about my Christ-like attributes tracker. I'll show you right now what it is, and it's pretty cool. Like I really enjoy doing this, but I came up with my governing values, my personal constitution, things that I want to live by, and the attributes I want to achieve, right? And I got this from Benjamin Franklin. I read his autobiography, and what his goal was, he was trying to achieve moral perfection. So what he did is he made a list of attributes and virtues that he wanted to achieve, and then he scored himself every day to see how he was doing. Same philosophy, except I just, instead of just doing virtues, I also included Christ-like attributes. I included roles, specific roles of activity, of like how my life is made up: father, husband, brother, leader, business owner. And I say, okay, these correlate, these being a disciple of Jesus Christ correlates with faith and hope. Being an athlete correlates with temperance and moderation in all things, right? Being healthy. Being a planner and a leader correlates with diligence, which correlates with I value time. Okay, so these are things that I've created. Now you can use mine. I think mine are across the board are good because they're based off of gospel principles. But it's up to you. You can change this if you want, and you don't even have to do this. I'm just letting you know. This is what I do every day when I'm tracking my numbers on my weekly planning. I also look at this, and as you can see, that's it. Okay. Now, if you're reading these numbers, and you're like, oh man, you think you're really good at this stuff. I'm just being honest. Like this is how I feel I'm doing, and there's times and seasons where I'm doing good, and times and seasons I'm not. Right, and we're just trying to perfect ourselves and be better. Right, and trying to follow Jesus Christ. So that's what I do. Is I just track 1 out of 10 how I'm doing. At the end of the week, I fill it out and say, what are the average? What am I doing? How did I do? And then it's like, how can you improve? You ask yourselves, what can I focus on? What did I not do? What did I do good? It's all just self reflection. And the reason why I think self reflection and all this is so important is because it's very hard to change if you're unaware, if you're not aware of how you're doing. If you're not looking at yourself and saying, I'm mean to people. You think you're going to stop being mean? Probably not, right? You're not going to be aware of it. So I think the best way to change and improve yourself is to reflect. And I believe that's what repentance is. I think repenting is just being honest and reflecting on how you're doing. And when you miss the mark, when you sin, you're changing that direction. But most people that sin, it's a sin of ignorance, right? They just don't know. They don't know they're doing something wrong. So we've been blessed with the gospel, with information and the teachings of Jesus Christ. We know what sin is. So our goal is to acknowledge that and change, right? So that's what this is all for. It's just me trying to be aware of where I'm at in my life and trying to be better. Okay. So, and every day I do this so I can be better, right? Now, Do I miss days? Yeah, I miss days, or I just try to do. If I don't have that much time, then I'll focus on what I do have time for. Okay, so after I'm done reflecting, and I know that I went over that for quite a bit, but that was just at that step where we're at right here. The next thing I do is I plan my day. Okay, the next step is planning your day. Now, in order to plan my day, that's where the flow of the count, I guess this planner goes. I then go here to plan the day. All right, the next step, well, I'm going to make sure you guys can really see that. It's time to plan the day. And how do I plan my day? Well, thank goodness I know exactly what I want to accomplish in life because I set a 90-day goal, right? I set the OKRs, the objectives and key results. So I just look at it and I say, okay, this is what I want to achieve. And I already planned out my week, so I know what's the one thing that I need to do in order to get there. And then I plan out my week, and I plan out my day. Sorry, not my. I already planned out my week, but I plan out my day according to those things. So it's not like a mystery of what I need to do. Then I say, okay, review your OKRs and focus, and the focus that will push this key result forward this week. Okay, what's that one thing that was going to push you forward this week? Remember, mine was to serve someone in my family or serve a member in the community. So it would be serve John, right? And help John out. Go help out John. Okay, what's the one thing I can do today to push that, progress this thing forward? Well, John doesn't know I need to serve him, and he doesn't know I'm trying to do this. I'm gonna give him a call and see if he needs any help. I'm gonna call him and tell him I'm coming over. Call and schedule uh, house, like visit to house visit. Okay, so you're progressing this forward, right? Which enables you to hit your OKR, your objective of loving and serving others, right? So same thing with health. So if the one thing on the whole health was to meal prep because I'm eating way too much and I can't stop myself apparently. Then what's the one thing I need to do today to get my meal prep? Well, I technically already meal prepped, so it would be to eat what eat what I prepared. Okay, that's the goal for today. All right. That's going to keep me dialed in and in line. That's what we're doing. We're looking at the OKRs and the weekly planning and just saying, okay, what am I going to do? And this gets easy because you already planned it. So you just have to put it on paper so you remember, put it down. So after I filled out what I'm going to do that day, I say, okay, are there any tasks I need to complete specifically, like initiatives or things that are just one-offs? I need to go buy some batteries, right? Like whatever you need to do, batteries. So right here, if you guys see this, this will say, hey, is it completed? Yes. Is it in progress? You'd put a circle. And then you can prioritize too if you think these things need to be done in order. So let's say I need to go buy batteries or I need to go visit a friend in the hospital. Which is a higher priority, batteries or visit friend in the hospital? I'd say friend in the hospital. So this would be A1 and then it'd be A2. Or batteries could be B2, like a should do instead of a must do. Okay. All right, we're almost done. I know you guys are probably like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy," but look, it was crazy when I first started, but now it's a process and it's streamlined, it's easy. So after I prioritize my daily tasks, I answer these specific questions. Uh, Takes me maybe 30 seconds. If this was the second day I were going to live this day, second time I was going to live this day, what would I do differently? What do I get to enjoy? What I usually get to enjoy is family and my wife. I love them and it's fun to be with them. So, what's the biggest danger for today? It's usually cell phone, like it's usually a social media or distractions. How do I overcome it? Put phone away after work, put away. You guys, I don't even know why I'm writing because you can't even tell what it is. But anyway, I answer these questions and anything specific that I need to remember, I time block. I don't have to time block my whole day like out here because I keep everything on a Google Calendar because most of my things are set up through meetings that are recurring or people schedule calls on my calendar. But if it's something important, I'll just time block it. Okay. I'll say what it is. And usually this time block is usually all family, right? So it makes it easy. And then right here in the morning, it's routine and getting my baby ready for the day and spending time with the family. So these are easy, right? It's just figuring out what's going on through the day. That's a little different. I answer the questions. Did I include enough breaks today? Yes. You don't want to be overwhelmed and do too much. You don't want to run faster than you have strength. Did I schedule my number one most important thing for today? Yes, I did. And you would circle it. And then I asked myself, what did am I doing today that's a 2x activity that I should delegate, that I shouldn't even do? Maybe I should have someone else do, hire someone to do, answer that. Then I go here to, I can consider today a win if I accomplish one thing. Okay, it's usually like put my family first. That's usually the one thing, right? Because with me and so many things that I want to accomplish, usually I got to remember and to focus and spend more time with my family instead of just being sucked in the whirlwind of all the things you can do. Friend I'm going to show love to, it's usually my wife. Depends who I have planned that week. And then what I do it here is I just remember, because it says you want to plan your day, but you also want to review your life plan and your 10x yearly goals. Okay, so super quickly, I just look over here and I say, from here, as you can see where the arrows they go here, and they say life plan. Okay, I review this. It takes me like 30 seconds just so I can remember what my objective is in my life and what I'm trying to accomplish. Oh, sorry. You guys probably weren't seeing that, but I'm going to show you again. Boom. I go here, say review my life plan, review my yearly goals, and then I am done planning my day and reviewing my goals. Okay, so I would go here and check that off. Now, guys, I've been doing this for a while, so that takes me like 10 minutes. Now I'm showing you a lot of information, and again, I hope none of you are like super overwhelmed with this, but I hope you can take bits or pieces or just apply the whole thing. But yeah, so after I review and plan my day, if I have time, which I usually do because this takes me about 5 minutes, is I will finish reading in some good books. Right now, I'm trying to read more poetry, trying to read from Epictetus, if that's how you say his name. He's a Stoic, and I read in the Bible to wrap it up. Okay, I read that. Takes about 5 minutes to read a page in each of those, and I end with the book of memorization if I have time, which is I just read some quotes that I want to memorize, and I read them daily, so it really sticks in and I don't forget. Okay. So that is the flow of the daily disciplines. Now, if any of you, I know it's a lot, but that's what I do. And after I do all that, at the beginning of the next day, or not even the beginning, you guys know when I reflect. But this part is just to reflect on the next day or that night on how you did. All right. Um, let's see. So it's your turn. It's your turn now, everybody. Good luck. Good luck following that because that's insane. That's crazy. But don't feel, I'm going to say it one, like for the thousandth time as we go through this course, don't feel like you have to do everything. Okay. This has been years of me trying to dial in my process. And I'm giving this and showing this to you so you can use it if you feel like this is something that can bless your life. And I think it can because it's blessed mine. So I would just recommend the ask yourself while you're alive. Okay, reflect, 10 minutes to read, sorry, 10 minutes to pray, 10 minutes to read, 10 minutes to write in your gratitude journal, in your small plates. Okay. And the flow and how to do those things, it's going to be in the books of life section. So you're going to know how to do it. So you continue through this course. If this is too much to do for you guys to schedule your day, like have a checklist to time block, to ask yourself self-reflective questions, to review your goals. If you don't have the time for that, do it every couple days. Do it once a week. Do it twice a week. I do it daily because there's a quote I like. It basically says like the one thing that humans are best at is forgetting, right? The one thing that history teaches us that this is the quote. The one thing that history teaches us is that humans never really remember. That's I butchered the quote, but basically we don't really remember. That's why we have the scriptures because, just after one generation, people can forget, right? Like with King Benjamin in the Book of Mormon, it talks about how he taught on at the temple, and everyone was converted, and then just the next generation forgot, and they started being wicked. And Alma the Younger, like, tried to get people to not follow the church, and he led many astray. Guys, just one generation. So for me, this is so important for me to reflect and remember these things daily, to stay dialed in on the purpose, like on Christ, because I will forget. And I think a lot of people, like, I'm not saying this is for everyone, but I think a lot of people fall away from the gospel, from Christ, is because they forget. I think it's it. There's a pride cycle. Like, life is good. People forget, like, all the many blessings God has given us. We're so blessed. Wherever you are in the world, you have blessings. Like, if you can breathe, you're blessed. So remember that. This is what this is for. A lot of people can remember without having to do all this, but for me, for the way my mind works, the way my brain is made, I have to uh, review these things daily. I have to nurture the seed, the plant in my heart daily in order for it to grow. Because if I don't, I'm going to forget and it's going to die. So hopefully this was helpful. This has been the Daily Disciplines. This is what I love doing every day, and I hope you love it too. I want to hear what you guys think about it. We'll see you on the next video. We're almost done with this course in the series. So just hold tight. We're almost done. And hopefully you can apply these and it will help you and improve your life. See ya.